Good morning, everybody. This is Angie Oldenburg coming at you from Wisconsin, USA. I'm just going to refresh my computer, make sure I'm popping up here. Sometimes it takes a bit to do that, especially when it doesn't want to click between screens. Anyway, hope you guys are all having a wonderful day so far. Okay, Shirley, I see that you liked. Thank you. Great. You guys can hear me. So I'm at the end of the presentations today, which is kind of fun. We've got one more presenter after I am done. Carol will be after me, so we'll let you go back and watch those that you haven't watched after we're all done doing the lives this morning. So here's the card I'm going to make today, or one similar. I'm going to change up the greeting a bit. So very fall themed, using a lot of the elements of the suite from the Hello Harvest set and dies and embellishments. So just kind of highlighting that suite because this is my favorite time of the year, and I love the fall colors that we have in the upper Midwest, even though they haven't really started yet. This is definitely getting me in the mood for some fall weather. We're gonna have like almost 90 degrees here in a couple days, which does not feel like fall weather. But anyway, so basic pieces of what we're doing here. Card base is Cajun Craze. I did a layer of the designer series paper from the suite. I picked the pumpkins. They're all gorgeous, of course, like all of our designer series papers are. And then this layer is from when I previewed, I told you guys I was using these. These are the split card textures dies. And so these just kind of cut out a negative space to give you a good design element on the card back. Lots of fun cards I've seen with this. So I'm going to do some coloring first. I went ahead and stamped in advance with Cajun Craze ink. Now this is just going to be our regular classic ink with Cajun Craze on watercolor paper because I'm going to use the blends to color. This is and if you guys know me, you've been listening to me for a while, I'm not a great watercolorer. So I use the blends a lot because they're easy. And so I just start with the light, and this is going to bleed a bit because the Cajun Craze ink is not, like when we use our Memento and you let it dry, it doesn't bleed. So I just kind of try to just get sort of to the edge of the image so that it can bleed into the edge if it's going to bleed. And I'm going to do this pretty quickly, so it's not going to be like a lot of detail, but I'm just going to show you how it turns out because it's actually a fun way to do it if you don't want a black outline. I wanted my whole pumpkin to be orange or Cajun Craze. And you get the dimension of the stamped image. And that's how you're going to know where to do your darker color, because Stampin' Up! Did that for us. Versus just a hollow image where you have to kind of figure it out on your own. And I am actually going to color this in with orange also, because, like we learned when we learned our rainbow colors, when you add multiple colors together, it can make brown. So anyway, so this is the lighter Cajun Craze blends, and this is the darker one. So I'm just going to come in and kind of just go over these lines where the shading is with the dark. It does not have to be specific or terribly detailed. And I'm going to color this in too. How's everybody doing this morning? I caught a couple of the other presentations yesterday. I was working, but on my breaks I was able to catch a couple. Can't wait to go back and watch the ones I've missed. That is the nice part about this event. is if you miss us live, you can go back and watch us again, or watch the ones you missed. So I'm going to go back in with the light and just kind of blend these darker areas out a bit. Like I said, this is not perfect, and I've never claimed to be a good watercolorer, but it makes it look good, even if you don't know what you're doing, like me. And then I just came in with the Mossy Meadow. Back to the rainbow colors and mixing colors. What does brown and orange make? Or, I mean, sorry, green and orange make? Brown. So it looks actually a little bit more natural for the stem, because pumpkin stems can be a mixture of green and brown as they kind of dry up. So I thought that turned out pretty cool. And that's as hard as the pumpkin needs to be. Sorry, I splurged a little on the edge there. That's because I was going too fast. But so it turns out really cute, and when it dries, it looks dimensional, which is fun. And so then I'll bring in the card base. Good morning, everybody. I'm just seeing some of the comments now. So I'm going to stamp on this section here first before I start tacking anything down. And I'm just going to stamp with my Cajun Craze. Oh, and that's one thing I forgot to get out is my stamps. Gosh. Sitting here waiting and thinking I'm all prepared, and then I'm going to use the Hello from this stamp set. This is the stamp set we're using. I love these flowers here too. If you wanted to do a card with sunflowers or something, kind of a more fallish theme, you could do that too. Okay. This is always tough to line up because I can't get my head right over the paper. So I apologize if this is going to be crooked, but I'm going to do the best I can without getting my head in the camera angle. And then I'm also going to grab the little filigree, I think that's what you would call it, stamp, just to add a bit more detail. And again, this, I apologize if it is not lined up. I'm just kind of guessing when I'm not right over the top of it. Not too bad. Just adds a little detail to the greeting. And then I'm going to add a little embellishment below that once I get everything together. So I'm going to move my ink pad out of the way so I don't stick a finger in it. And then I just made these layers exactly the same, and actually I cut the designer series paper maybe just a smidge smaller so that it wouldn't stick out. Just going to use a little Tombow. Don't need to use a ton here, especially on long. You could do some of the sponging techniques like some of the gals have showed in their Facebook lives to tack that down too, because you don't want a lot of glue coming through there. But it is going to be covered up by the pumpkin as well, so if it does get a little messy, it's not a big deal. So just going to kind of layer that and then make sure that all of the designer series paper is covered. Now you could, if the paper's a little bit bigger, obviously you could just kind of turn it over. You could take your snips and trim off the edges. So there's that. And that's, that's pretty easy. And then I'm going to put some Tombow on the back here. This is a new Tombow, so it's coming out really, really well. Sometimes you got to shake it. I always love just, if I like the colors of the designer series paper, I take my ideas from that just because it's so easy to do, and Stampin' Up! Has done the work for us. I just took a little bit of glue under the edge here, missed that corner. Alright, and then I'm gonna kind of set that there. I'm gonna put some dimensionals on the back of my pumpkin so it pops up. Shirley, have you had any pumpkin spice anything yet this fall? I have not. I'm not a huge pumpkin spice like coffee or person necessarily. I do like, since I'm an ice cream fan, I kind of like the pumpkin pie blizzard at Dairy Queen. I don't know if people around the world have those kinds of things or if that's just an American thing, but okay. I shouldn't have taken those off there yet. I'm going to tack these down a bit too. Just put a little bit of glue on the back. There. Because these are going to go down flat on my paper. And then I'm going to kind of build a little scene with my pieces and my pumpkin. So glue those down and then put my pumpkin down. That's on the dimensionals. And you can kind of rearrange these however you want them. I had obviously cut these, stamped and cut these out first. In the dies, there is the leaf die. You could also, these I just stamped, but you could, you know, do your blending over the top of these too if you wanted to kind of make the look similar. But I just chose not to. I'm going to put this one kind of going along here. And then for the two, these are Mary Merlot. So just these colors, Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, and then Mary Merlot. For these two, I want them popped up a bit. So I put a dimensional just on this end, and then I'll put a bit of glue here. Same thing on this side, so that they can lay flat when you add them in on top of the pumpkin. Hopefully everybody's having a good day so far. Okay. You could certainly put more in front, however many leaves that you wanted. And then I cut these little vines out also. These are from the die set, and these are Mossy Meadow as well. Now you could, and I thought about doing it today, put that on our adhesive sheets. That would be a really good idea, but I decided not to. I'm just going to try to be really gentle with my Tombow. You could also use the sponging, like some people have shown on these lives. That'd be probably less potential for a mess. But I guess I want to live daringly this morning. Okay. And I should have my new tweezers out here. Gosh. I think Sandra showed us the new tweezers from the embossing kit. Love it. It's just hiding right now. There's no right or wrong magic to adding these vines either. I sort of tried to look to see if there was an end. See, I got a little bit too much glue on there, so I would advise less glue or sponging it. And then this one I just wanted to use kind of as a highlight for my greeting, so I'm just going to kind of put it underneath the hello. And that's the basics of the front. I am going to use a few embellishments. This suite also has this pack of it's called the Leaf Label and Amber Gem Combo Pack. So I'm using the gems out of that. Grab my take your pick tool, and I think like a lot of people have mentioned using odd numbers of embellishments. I think I just put 3 on here. A little bit harder to see with the busyness of the designer series paper, but it gives it a little bit of a glimmer. And then I forgot to cut an extra sheet, but I'm going to show you what I did on the inside. I got another sample up here of this one. You'll have to put a white layer on the inside, and just so that you can write your greeting. And then I just stamped these fall leaves on the inside to give it a little bit more detail. If this is a hello card, you can just write whatever you'd like. Obviously, you can make it into whatever kind of a card you want to. It'd be a nice thank you card or sympathy card, or just a hey, hi, how you doing kind of a card. So that is my card for the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Pretty simple as per my usual. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm just going to pull my catalog quick so I can show you where these are in the catalog. They are in the Holiday Mini. The suite is called the Rustic Harvest Suite. So here is the embossing pack toolkit that I was talking about with the new tweezer that Sandra had showed on her video. These are the designer series papers, the embellishment pack, the stamp, and the die. And the stamp and die come in a bundle as well if you just want the bundle, and not all of the rest of the suite on the next page. So that's page 49 and 50. And then the other dies that I used, these split card dies, are in the annual catalog. And so let me grab that and show you. It is page 174 in the back. Let's see, go to 86 where it's shown. Right here. So they've got kind of a more of a masculine card that they showed it on. It's kind of fun. So I've seen a lot of uses with just that grid, but I did cut one of the other ones out just so you could see what it looks like. And I thought that would be awesome for a Halloween card. So it kind of looks like a spider web to me, or it could be a flower if you added flower kinds of embellishments to the front. So it's a very cute die set. I thought it would be really neat just to add some detail to that bottom layer that you're putting on a card. So, all right, that's all I have, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Carol is up next at 9:30. So take a break, go grab something to drink if you're watching live. And if you have missed any of the presentations, be sure to go back and watch them. And of course, as always, go back to the demonstrator that invited you to the group and place an order. And we've got a wonderful tutorial with all the details of how to make all these projects for you if you place an order. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time.